I just want to show you a quick demo of how PurpleCloud operates and how easy it is to use the software. Now, to access the system, you do have to have Google Chrome as your browser. You can also use Microsoft Edge as long as it's the latest version. Now, to access the site, you do have to go to app.purplecloudtech.com, and that's highlighted here. And as you can see, I have two screens on my system right now. On the left side, this will be the manager's view, and on the right side, this will be your housekeeper's view or your other roles views. So again, the other roles, typically your housekeepers, your engineers, your servicemen, they will all use mobile devices to utilize PurpleCloud. So the screen that you're going to see over here is condensed to show you the exact view that they would see as well. Now again, I am at app.purplecloudtech.com over here as well. So whenever you do have those devices, make sure you install Google Chrome if it's not already installed. And then you can save this web address as a bookmark so that your servicemen and your engineers and your housekeepers will have access to PurpleCloud. So now that we have access to PurpleCloud, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and type in my property ID, my username, and my password. If you don't have that information, you will receive that. So again, left side is the manager's view, and I'm just logging into our dummy database here, so you're not going to use the same property ID. Now once I do log in as a manager, I can see the house count and the area overview. And again, everything is color coded here, and all the colors do have meaning. So if you see anything that's white letters, you can see that this indicates that the room is vacant. If you see black letters or numbers, you can see that this equals occupied. Now, a combination of red and white letters and numbers indicate that the room is vacant dirty. If you see a combination of a red block with black letters and numbers, you can see that the room is occupied dirty, and so on and so forth here. So again, white letters and numbers but a blue backdrop, that equals that the room is vacant clean. And if you see black letters and numbers on a blue backdrop, then that indicates that the room is occupied clean. If you ever forget, you will always have this here as a reference, but we also have show legend here, and this will also give you the meanings of the letters, numbers, and the colors and so forth. Moving on from here, the house count also shows you the amount of vacant dirty rooms you have versus your occupied dirty rooms. You can filter these out. Now, if you do click these, it will filter the area overview. So right now I can see all statuses of the rooms here. But if I click on my 119 vacant dirty rooms, instantly you can see in the area overview that now I'm only viewing the vacant dirty rooms. Now you can simply turn the filters off by clicking on the box again, or you can go up to the top here and refresh your browser. So when in doubt, or if you run into any issues and you need to clear your screen or bring it back to the original view, simply refresh the button just in case you forget what filter you may have clicked on. Moving on from this, if you go down to the area overview, you can see that some of the rooms have S, some rooms have L. Now this has a meaning as well. The S stands for stayovers, whereas the L stands for leaving or checking out for the day. So if you see an L on the room, that indicates that the guest was in the room and that they're leaving today. Once the guest does check out of the room, this L will be removed from the screen, and it will turn the letters and numbers to white to indicate that the room is now vacant. Now the S again is stayover, and this guest here in room 106 is staying 54 additional nights. Now tomorrow this will turn to S53 to indicate that the room will only be occupied for 53 more nights. I can also see who's inside of these rooms as well. So as long as your integration is working, and if you are uploading a CSV file manually, as long as those files have the guest information, you will see that inside of the room as well. Now, if you wanted to see like an overview of all of your guests inside of PurpleCloud, you can simply go up here to the black button that says guest list, and you can click on that. And if you do have any guests inside of the hotel, you will see those listed here. You can also edit this list by clicking on the pencil, and then you can type in the title, the first, last name of the guest, VIP status, the arrival and departure dates, their language, and so on. Make sure you do click this green Save Guest button to save the information that you input. But again, if you have an integration to PurpleCloud with your PMS system, then that information will automatically be added to the system. Moving on from here, we have preventative maintenance scores. So if you do have preventative maintenance and it has been completed, then the rooms will show the scores on them if you click the button that says preventative maintenance. So again, room 103 had a preventative maintenance done to it, and I can see that 15 out of 18 things were completed for that preventative maintenance. Going back home, we do have the assigned staff. Now, after clicking on Assign Staff, you will come to this screen here, and this is where you can actually assign rooms. So there are multiple ways to assign rooms to your housekeepers and to your servicemen and engineers as well. So right now, if I want to assign rooms to my housekeeper, I can simply select my dirty rooms. So I'm just going to go ahead and select those rooms. I'm skipping the inspected rooms, so anything in green is inspected, anything in blue is clean. So I'll just select the dirty rooms. And then I'll choose my housekeeper from the list here. I'll choose Evan Smith, for instance, and then click on Save Assignments. So now, as you can see, all rooms are now saved to Evan Smith. And you can tell because it says HK8 here. And again, under Evan's name, it says HK8 as well. I can also see my room assignments by going to Room Assignments, and I can see that I've already assigned rooms to engineers to do their PMing. But also Evan now has his room. So if I log in as Evan on the right side, and again, when Evan logs in, this is the screen he will see. He will see any open requests, messages, rooms available for pickup, projects and alerts of the day. And then again, if you guys are using the gamification feature, he'll be able to see how many points he's accumulated on the leaderboard and the prizes as well. But to access his room, he simply goes to Menu, Agenda, and now he can see those different rooms that he's been assigned, the 9 different rooms here. He can also see the status of the rooms, whether it's occupied or vacant. He can see whether the room is dirty, clean, or inspected, or is listed as pickup. He can also see that room 105, for instance, has a guest in there and they're staying 4 additional nights. So these are things and great information that he can use as he's cleaning throughout the day. He can also see his estimated time to clean this room. And then once he clicks inside of the room, just simply click on the button, it starts his timer. All right. So if I click on this room, again, the timer starts for him. He can lock the phone, set it down, put it in his pocket, whatever he would like to do. Start cleaning that room. And as soon as he finishes cleaning the room, he simply unlocks his phone, comes back to this screen here, and changes the status of the room from dirty to clean. So I'll go ahead and do that. So as you can see on the manager side, or anyone else who has access to PurpleCloud, it will show the status of the room, and it will show that it has changed instantaneously. So throughout the day, as the rooms are being changed to clean and inspected, your front desk will also see this, and they can start checking guests into those inspected rooms. So after the room is clean, he simply clicks on Leave Room, and that stops his timer. And as you can see, the timer stopped at 44 seconds, so that's how long it took. But again, if he's utilizing the system fully, then it would be minutes to clean that room. But for this example, it's showing 44 seconds. So as a manager or as an inspectress or inspector, you can now go to this room and you can click on it. Now, if you want to be timed, you can simply click on Enter Room, but you can also enter the room so that you can know exactly where you are, or if others are using the Who's Where button here, they can know where you are as well. With Evan, for instance, I can see that he last entered room 105 at 1:08 p.m. today. If he clicks on room 106, for instance, now you can see his current location is room 106. So everything inside of PurpleCloud is instantaneous. In addition to that, again, if you are a manager and you're inspecting rooms and you want to want everyone to know where you are, you can simply click on Enter Room, and as long as they're looking at Who's Where, they will actually be able to see where you are as well. If you click the emergency button, this is good also. So just make sure that you click on enter room, or housekeepers, they just may want to click inside of the room before clicking on the emergency button, and that will notify you guys exactly where they are. So I'll show you an example here. So since Evan is in room 106, click the emergency button, and you probably heard that notification. It rings everyone who has access to PurpleCloud. If your phone number is listed under your profile under employees, then you will also receive a text message. So only managers can input their phone number, just so you know. So as you can see, Evan has an emergency and his location is room 106. So as a manager or any other roles, as long as they have access to messages, they will be able to see the emergency here. And then also, if you have a cell phone, you will also see the message as a text message. If I click on leave room and I simply click on emergency button, as you can see, the location is NA because Evan is not inside of the room. So as you can see, PurpleCloud is very easy to use. It's a good tool to communicate between those that may speak other languages as well, because what happens is whatever is sent to them in their language, it will come over to them in their language. And then if they send something back to you, then it will come to you in your language. So it's just a good way for your team to communicate with one another. In addition to that, you have multiple ways of sending messages. So if Evan's in room 106, for instance, he can go to quick pick messages and he can simply select one of the preloaded messages in the system, and it automatically sends the message to everyone. So if someone listed as a serviceman is assigned to room 106, they will receive this message. They can go inside of the message and say not yet, meaning that they can't get to it yet. They can click on it, meaning that they're on their way to complete it. And then once they do complete it, they can click on done to indicate that it has been completed. So any buttons that they click here will be notated here at the very bottom. It shows you who actually clicked on it, MN13, that will be the manager over here on the left side. And it also tells you the date and the time that the buttons were clicked as well. Now, if there are notes pertaining to this message, they can be typed here where it says notes. And also, if you have any resources needed, you can type that in here as well. If you do type in notes and resources, do click on the Save Notes and Resources button here. You can also assign this message to someone specifically in a certain department. So right now I can assign it back to Evan. And as you can hear, he receives a notification on his phone. If he clicks on his messages here, he can see that he now has this this item to complete on his side. So again, once he goes to do it, he can click on it to say he's on it. Once he completes it, he clicks on done, and voila, the message is now completed. So if I click the back button, you can see that it's grayed out, and that indicates to you that this message or item has been completed. You can also send messages back and forth to one another. You can click on create action item. You can send it as a need, request, or work order. But if it's none of those and you just want to send a message to someone, maybe I want to send it back to my manager here. So let's see here. I am Ann right now, so I'll go ahead and look for Ann Solinger. And I can choose one of the loaded messages here, or I can type out a message. So I'll just go ahead and type out a message to say like, hello, how are you doing today? So I can send that. As you can see, the message appears on Ann's side. So Ann can click on this message. She can see that Evan sent her a message that says, hello, how are you doing today? So she can go down to the bottom and reply to Evan. So I am doing well today. Thanks for asking. How are you doing? And now I can send that. And as you can see on Evan's side, it appears on the message with an arrow to indicate that a reply has been sent to him. So he can now click on the message and he can read what Ann just sent to him. And he can reply back if he likes to. I am doing well. Thanks. And then he can send that. So again, Ann can see the message that he sent to her as well. Now, if Evan was a Spanish speaker and his system was set up in Spanish, again, everything would come over to Evan in Spanish. and then once he sends a message back, it will come over to the English speaker in English. So again, PurpleCloud is very simple to use. We have multiple things that you can do inside of the system, and we'll go more into that once we start with the training. But again, we do have like D&D buttons, so if Evan's in room 106, the D&D button will show up for occupied rooms only. It will not show up for your vacant rooms. So if he goes to room 106, he sees that sign on the door. Again, on devices, once he clicks on the D&D button, it's going to pull up this box here. Once he clicks on select image, it will bring up his camera, and he can take a picture of that D&D sign. But since I'm using my computer, I'll just go to my pictures here and just upload one of my D&D signs that I have available in the system. And the system automatically uploads the photo type and the photo description. So now Evan can simply click on upload. And now if he leaves the room, you can see a strike through is on this room, and that indicates that D&D is attached to this room. On your side, you will see the same thing, strike through, and it says D&D at the upper right corner of the screen. And you can also see how long he was actually in that room. So PurpleCloud does have a lot of unique features in here. We talked about a few. We have training in here where you can upload training materials such as YouTube videos or pictures. We have gallery, which shows all pictures that have been taken by your housekeepers and your other servicemen and your engineers as well. You can filter to go back as far back as you like. So if I have photos from like last year maybe, and I want to see those photos, I can see all pictures that have been taken since December of last year. I can filter these. I can search by location. Now past this, we have employees. This is where you're going to add, edit, or remove employees in the system. If you need to edit something inside of an employee's profile, simply click their name. You can change the password here. If you do change the password or anything inside of the system, make sure you click on the save button. And again, if you want to add your cell phone number in here to receive notifications, you can do so. But again, only managers, which is this MN role, can add their phone numbers in the system. We have who's where. We talked about that a little bit. This is where you can go to see exactly where your housekeepers are. So it is crucial for you to indicate to your housekeepers that once they enter the room to start cleaning that room, that they click inside of the room, and this will indicate to you where they are in the hotel. Room assignments. After you assign your rooms, you will see all room assignments here. You can delete rooms from here. You can reassign rooms. And you can print the room agendas as well. Reports, these are reports pertaining to messages in your checklist as well, so you can see all messages and checklists that have been completed in the system. And you can filter those checklists as well. So you can select dates and you can go back as far as you like. So if I want to see all messages since January 1st, I can see all messages that have been created in the system since January 1st. Manage checklist, this is where you go to add, edit, or remove checklists inside of the system. If you need to edit one, just simply click on it. Right now, this checklist is going to all roles, so all housekeepers, engineers, servicemen, managers, they all can see this checklist right now. If I click on the drop down, I can specify which role I would like to see the checklist. If all roles is sufficient for you, you could always leave it there. Location in room versus out of room. So in room would be, let's see, on Evan's side, if you click inside of the room and you click on checklist or complete checklist, these are checklists that pertain to inside of the room. Now, if I were to select outside of the room, then as you can see on his checklist here, it was removed from inside of the room, but he can access that checklist if he goes to menu, complete checklist, and now he can see that same checklist that was there previously. So I may have to refresh just to see it. And there it is, the equipment maintenance log. Complete checklist. This is where you would go to complete your checklist as a manager. Or if you have any type of quality inspections that you would like to complete, those will be located here, or it could be inside of the room as well. We have analytics. Again, only managers will see analytics. These are just more specific reports for you to measure, like, you know, contact tracing. You may have like checklists by hour, gamification, and so forth. We have notes in here, so only you can see the notes that you type in here. Your other roles will see those notes as well for their side. So, if I type that, a light bulb is out, light bulb out in room 205. Maybe he wants to create that as a notation so that he can create a work order later on in the system. To save it, just simply click the X button, and that saves your notes here. So again, only you can see the notes that you type in here. No one else can see those notes. So that's just good for you to know. Now, one thing to note is that once you are inside of notes, you can't access any other thing until you actually click on the X to exit out. All right. We have settings. So again, only managers have access to settings. If you change anything inside of settings, it will affect everyone, just so you know. All right. So you may want to contact support if there's anything that you need to change. But if you do need to change maybe time to clean versus staying time to clean for the rooms and so forth, you can do that here under settings. And you can also add other preloaded messages inside of the system. We have the emergency button. We kind of talked about that. And then you have to the right of that, the Wi-Fi button here. So as long as this button is green, that indicates that you're connected to the internet. If it's red, that indicates that you're not connected to the internet. Now, to log out of the system, you simply click on the circle here at the top left corner and click on log out. If you have any support questions, you can click on that circle and then choose support. And you can type out your message here and then click on send, and that will come over to our support system. And then we will get in touch with you ASAP. Now for your other roles here, they simply click on menu, click on log out, and that's how they log out of the system for the day. That concludes our demo. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us at support@purplecloudtech.com. And we will be going over the system in more detail as we continue on with training. Thanks and have a great day.